So on the left, he's Zerg. 9 o'clock. We've got
Yeah.
a Zerg. Hallelujah. And then on the right, we have our new king, Terran. Only fastest map. Or wizard, right? Or something.
Crazy mage.
Crazy mage. Wizard mage. He should just put what he is, dang it. Okay. Now that we know, I'm going to adjust this real quick. Let's put these guys all together, and then what I'll do is I will just get rid of the extra marine, and then dang it, all these little things that I have to keep track of. Okay. It's a little off, but it's fine. All right. So, what do we even say? Feels like I haven't seen a Zerg in like 40 years.
Yeah, I feel like creep is almost so foreign to me. I think just to explain, commonly you'll see Zerg offer a hatchery at the choke, just so that there's slightly less areas to or less surface area to defend.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, if you see, or normally if the Terran knows that they're playing as a Zerg, they usually offer a command center opening. But with him not knowing and going for a 3 racks opening, we may see Bayagster go for a pretty greedy build after putting down 3 Sunkens. Because he won't be able to punish him or because Mage won't be able to punish him as hard in the mid game.
Right.
Since Bayagster knows that he's Terran, but Mage doesn't.
That's
Right,
it.
we don't see Terran, or we don't see Zerg too often, even in our
Oh my
previous Battle
gosh.
of the Beehives.
How lucky
uh,
is that?
right, so I'm excited to see how well Bayagster plays, considering he has sort of what many would consider the inferior race.
Dude, he's just going straight for a bunker too. That's hilarious. And there's already a marine.
Hmm.
So that I was just gonna build off what you're saying, which is that Mage didn't know what he's going up against. It could have been Terran or Protoss, and if it was Protoss, things get real crazy. Dude, I can't believe he saw that. The bunker went down instantly, and he's going to be able to hide the Marine and the SCV if he wants inside this bunker. And then, oh my gosh, those Zerglings need to get on the other side of the bunker so that they can catch those Marines coming in, right? Or do you just want to save them at this point? Is this all about just trying to just buy as much time as you can for your sunks to finish? I guess they will finish.
Yeah, really the Lynx can go ahead and kill the SCV. Really, this isn't gonna honestly do a lot, especially with that second sunken finishing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's don't get me wrong, it could be effective if Bayexter wasn't, on top of his game, but it was more or less just to force that sunken as quickly as possible and potentially get him to panic. But it was never really meant to sort of kill that hatchery.
Well, it worked on me. I was ready to panic. I was like, oh shit, your hatch just barely finished. You're like, don't even have your sunks down yet. If he could have targeted the creep colonies, then all he needs to do is get it just right under 100. He could have targeted them down. But it's still good because, well, this Marine Force is pretty damn scary. It did get him to make lings instead of drones. So, like you were mentioning before, he couldn't be as greedy as he maybe could have been before if Mage didn't just get so damn lucky. It's the first time we get like a first scout. Like the first scout that you do is the first base that they're at, especially with the random. So that's pretty unlucky. But even then, when I say that, I already said it earlier, it's just like cross scout's not abnormal. We talked about it before, and you kind of want to scout the middle of the map in case anyone's proxying, because that's some shiz we've seen today as well. But I mean, so far so good, right? Zerg gets to keep building. He's already going up to lair. He's building his next hatchery, and Terran conversely is just controlling center. Not really. I guess he's teching up into factory as well. That's pretty normal. I think it'll be the equivalent of SK Terran, just a lot of bio and maybe some science vessels, or I guess the double factory would
Right.
insinuate he's probably gonna
Yeah,
just pump a lot
the
of tanks.
machine. Yeah, I mean, normally if we do see a start port, it'd be after. There would always be at least one tank, simply because I mean you'd want to offer to or threaten to push the choke
Mm-hmm.
while dropping, right? Because the drops in this map is so strong. However, it looks like in his instance, he just wants to go for a more a stronger initial push, and then eventually offer probably irradiates later. Um,
Okay.
I think right now the question is Bayagster gonna sort of go crazy hive where he may go straight into hive, or I'm sorry, crazy Zerg if he goes straight into hive, or if he decides to go for a lurker play where he sort of stabilizes, maintains his defense, and then eventually work his way up. And it looks like we're seeing the lurker alternative.
It's a good link scout. I imagine he. I guess we can't assume anything, but I would imagine he saw the 2 factories, and if not, he at least saw the siege tank, so he knows. And that was pretty cool that he built that engineering bay on location just to get it there that little bit quicker, and he is pushing the front. This is, okay, so this is bringing back memories. This is kind of what you do. I saw the Protoss equivalent of this, where, excuse me, you just start breaking it down as the Terran of the Protoss, and then as the Zerg, you just keep building a bigger and bigger ring of sunken colonies behind each row as they just slow push. And in doing so, you're buying yourself time, which it does look like it's going to be hive, by the way. You're just trying to buy yourself time for the tech that you need to survive long term.
Yeah, this is reminiscent of sort of DeWalt's game against RGB in the very first Beehive, where DeWalt was pushing in with his Reavers and RJB was primarily stalling to not only get lurkers up but also to go for a doom drop. So we may see something along the lines of that, where Bayagster is just trying to hold on for as long as he can while he maybe techs to hive. We're seeing a sort of a delayed hive, even though his queen's nest been done for a while, but the lurkers should be able to keep him alive for the time being. But great science facility timing for Mage so that he'll have science vessels out. And honestly, there's less lurkers than I thought there would be, so I think we may potentially see. Oh no!
My
What is going on?
This is
What is going
brutal.
on?
It's not even.
Oh
They're not even hold
no!
position. That was just. That just
That was
hurt.
rough. That was rough. That's not game breaking to the point where Zerg can push him, but it will definitely delay Mage's push a lot more than intended.
It slowed him down a whole heck of a lot. Like I was just waiting for the science vessel because it's totally the dun da 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 da. This is all right. He's going in. Usually you want to lead with the. Don't you want to lead with the lings? But okay.
No, you want to lead with the lurkers because
Protect the lings,
they have.
I guess.
So normally, because lings are faster, they'll eventually swoop in and cover the marines anyways, and the lurkers also obviously have more hit points, so they can tank a little bit more.
Sick.
Otherwise your lings would just get shredded, and then your lurkers would be bearing behind them and die. But that was a great timing to push out as the science vessel is coming in. But now with irradiate almost done, and there's nothing for Bayagster to defend against the eventual irradiate. So I'm surprised he didn't throw down a spire earlier, just for the sake of getting the scourges. But
supply block
yeah,
by the way.
right. And the later hive is just gonna hurt him now with the fact that the filers are just so much slower.
Right. I think either move these lurkers back, or I think we're at the what do they say, the twilight of this game. This game's about to sunset on us, because I think if I were to, like I said, some of my stuff has kind of just been a little bit off. He doesn't have enough. I guess he's just trying to scare him into thinking that he had a radiate. I believe, or what it feels like to me, is he's building too many units, or he didn't drone enough, because his tech really was late. Like the strategy was there, but it was just a little late, and I don't think those are
Ready Racer, GG.
Yeah, GG.
Well played by Mage. Really, almost a perfectly played game on his part, minus the walking into lurkers. But
oh, for sure.
Yeah, sort of well played.
As they say, the brightest stars burn out the fastest. Our one Zerg game didn't even go 10 minutes.